Dr. Dre released a clip celebrating the anniversary of the Chronic 2000. And he had an interesting comment where he said, I think we've touched on this in the past, I believe, but it's interesting to hear Dr. Dre's take. He said, right now, to really search, I have to really search hard to find something that I really like as far as hip hop. He said, but I think it's just about the substance right now. It feels like it's a little more quantity over quality. You know what I'm saying, in terms of the music that actually comes out now. I think a lot of people have this debate and they talk about, you know, whenever someone says this or brings this point up, they're automatically deemed, you know, old or washed or whatever. And I'm like, yo, that can be just a fair observation in terms of the actual game right now. There is a lot of quantity. We're in an instant gratification era where people put music out, people record it the night before, put it out, boom, it's there. Like there is no, you know, I guess the attention to detail, it could still be there for certain artists, but it's like, yo, a lot of this stuff is microwave. So when I saw Dre say that, it made me think to say, do we think any of the music now that is being put out, how many of these artists actually have the potential to have longevity, where it's like, no pun intended, 20, 15.
Album drops on Tuesday next week.
Actually does.
Lone Love Blue Child.
Shout out to Trippie Red.
No. Longevity.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to Moonchild. We love them. But, you know, in terms of the artists now, like how much of this stuff is going to be relevant? You know what I'm saying? When I say relevant, I mean stuff that you can go back and reference and hear. Like there's songs from the 60s that we still hear now that are undeniable. Like, is there any music that's coming out of this era that we think 20, 30 years from now, when we're older, that we can go back and see people still rocking to and still rock out to now? Like,
it's the age-old question, though. Like, are you talking about the population? Are you talking about it being popular? Or are you talking about it being good? Because the answer is yes. There's plenty of people making great music right now, all over the place.
So let's take that out of the equation in terms of the popular records that we hear right now. Because some of the ones that I'm comparing may have been just popular records back then, lead singles, whatever. So in terms of popular music that we hear now, do we think any of that has a lasting, you know, like a lasting effect or longevity? Do you would know, you're out in the clubs a lot, you hear a lot of records. Do any of these records stick? Is there,
honestly,
you know, stick to your ribs type? It's
crazy. There are songs that I forget about that are only 5 years old, and somebody will play them and be like, oh yeah. Right. Because, you know, there are people who have a one shining moment.
Yeah.
And then they're gone. And they put out a whole body of work, but like, you know, don't get me wrong, if I never hear Party Like a Rock Star by the Shop Boys ever again, I don't think my life will be particularly impacted.
Right.
You know, and the thing is, that does mark a certain point in time. But I just think that
the replay value, though, longevity.
You know, but it's also because people's attention span is so short.
Yes.
And there's so much to try to digest.
Yes.
You
have to throw those two things in there.
You know, at one point, you might get 25, maybe 30 hip hop albums a year. You know,
right.
Now you get 25, 30 hip hop albums or R&B projects a month, if not maybe every 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
You know, and so even things that I like, you know, I'll find myself, I got to go revisit that. And I'll forget, like I forgot that the Smith & Wesson album came out this year.
Yeah.
You know, and I really like that album.
February.
Which actually had heat on it. Like, yeah, it had some heat on it.
But, you know, that's from more of me being still a hip hop nerd. When we're talking about the popular songs, I think people will still listen to Beyonce in 20 years. Rihanna.
I agree.
Drake will still be around in 20 years.
I agree.
But, you know, I'm not sure if Lil Baby will be around in 20 years. I'm not sure if
it's just not, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell because at one point, if you talk to people who are our parents' age or somewhere in that realm, they would have told you none of this hip hop was going to be around in 20 years.
Good point.
You know, I saw a clip of Sinbad talking about when rappers get older and retired rappers.
I know that stand up, yeah.
And like it was funny then, but now it's like he was completely wrong because now we see rappers in their 50s that we're like, I still want to hear music from.
What's a song that you can think of from that era, the 60s or 70s, that maybe would be equivalent to the Baby song or something that was a more one-hit wonder? Do you remember those songs? You know what I mean?
Like there was silly shit then. Like,
I'm not even necessarily talking about silly. I just mean like one-hit wonders that like stood the test of time. Like I think the biggest piece that we're talking about right here is the simple fact that people don't have the same type of attention spans, and we have so much content.
That's a good point.
It's much content right now. Like there are tons of records. I shared 3 records today on Bringing Down the Band's YouTube page that were all crazy dope records.
Yeah.
Are they going to be hits? Maybe one of them. The Mark Ronson one with Anderson .Paak probably will. But but is it going to be remembered? Even though it's a spectacular record, probably not.
I think you touched on a good point in terms of the time frame now, in terms of being flooded with so much material, right? Like it to me, and it's when I put my consumer hat on, it's like, yo, there's so much stuff to listen to. I don't even know if I'm appreciating some of the doper records that I know or that I found or that y'all put me on to, because it's like, yeah, something else is coming out. You know what I mean? So you have to take that into consideration. I don't even look at it like that. Like from the angle of, if I don't like it, I just move on. Like I don't care if it's popular or not. Like, and if I like it, I save it and I save. You know what I mean? Like, and I share it. Like, maybe I'm different, I guess, for the lens that I use. I'm not saying compared to you guys, but I'm saying we are different in general with how we consume. But I found out about some artists the other day Harry Styles. I had no idea who Harry Styles was until I saw that the dude from Brass Tracks was playing trumpet on his SNL video. Nice. And then I looked up Harry Styles, like 39 million. How did I not know this person? Yeah.
Why am I the 40th million person to know who this is? And that's kind of what I do.
Wasn't he in a group or something?
Oh, I honestly don't know. But the names sound familiar, but I listened to it, I was like, oh, well, damn, like I'm completely removed from a lot of popular culture, especially in music a lot of times.
Like it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was at a friend's house and her daughter was playing the song from Frozen, Let It Go, and I was like, well, what's this?
That's a huge song.
I had no idea. She was like, how have you never heard this? I was like,
right.
I am a single man with no children. I've never seen Frozen. I don't know what this is.
I don't even know what this is.
You know, so there's stuff that we miss just because, look, that's not our space to be in.
Like Russ?
Like, I'm just now hearing Russ's music.
I was hip to Russ because he was big on the blogs. Yeah. So he blew up. He was a self-made song a day for a year, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why I was familiar with him. But other than that, if you don't check music the way where you wouldn't know, but he got huge.
Yeah, I know.
Massive.
I don't know anything about Russ's music.
Nor do I.
Who's that dude from there's a dude that actually TRU you put me on from the dude from like Kentucky or something. Jack Harlow.
He's dope.
Yeah, and so like
he's dope.
I had no clue who he was until you mentioned him, and then I looked him up. I was like, wow, he's got a huge following.
If my guy, shout out to my homie Deshaun, he actually put me on to him. He's like, hey, I got somebody you need to listen to. He sent me an album, sent me songs, and I'm like, okay, this dude got some heat. He got a record called Detox that I really love. Like, so I'm hoping he, gets the necessary look, or as an up and coming artist. I think he's got some heat. He's got talent. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting, man, with Dre and him being an OG, still seeing that that's the era that we in. Quantity, like let's get it out, record it, put it out, record it, put it out. People dropping 2 and 3, like on some DMX type shit. People dropping, couple projects a year. Like,
but let's put it.
It was rare when he did it, but
this
now
is also Dr. Dre. He probably has a vault full of music that we'll never hear ever.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Yeah, we're talking about somebody who we were waiting on Detox for how long? And
I've talked to people
who've
worked on it, and they're just like, no, it's just a thing, but it's just
it's a myth.
It's not. I got a chance to interview Jake One, and I said, is Detox real? He's like, yes, I've worked on it.
Yeah, we'll see when it comes out.